Thank you for joining. We are currently waiting for several members to join. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes more. Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible? The audio is still muted, everyone. Am I audible? Yes, okay. We're going to start the meeting in 5 minutes, so please be ready. Please turn on the audio, and if it is possible, please also open the camera so that we can see who's coming in this discussion today. Okay. Before I start this, can everyone answer me? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. So today I am the master of ceremony of this discussion. My name is Nadia Firdania, and I will be the moderator also of this discussion. So welcome to Waste Management Discussion India-Indonesia using mechanical and robotic sorting machine. So today we will have several panel of discussion. The first is, the schedule, the activity of our discussion today will be opened by the opening program and playing opening video by the Nepra, and then web discussion session about Indonesia waste problem with Bapak Saud Marpaung, and then the second web discussion, key success of Nepra India waste management startup with Sir Sandeep Patel, and also we will discuss more about waste management discussion Indonesia, India using mechanical and robotic sorting machine. Without further ado, let's open this discussion by opening program and playing video. The committee, please help me to show the video.
Am I supposed to share it, or you are sharing from your screen?
Pardon?
I am supposed to share, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You may share it by yourself.
I need to be enabled for sharing screen.
Okay, please committee, let the participants share the screen. While waiting for the committee, I would like to ask all of the participants here, how are you, everyone? Have you done eating lunch? Okay.
So I need the right to share my screen. I'm still waiting for that.
Hi, Mr. Sandeep. While waiting, I would like to introduce you to Pak Saud Marfong. You've been spoken to him a couple of times, maybe.
Yeah.
And then thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure for us to be here and knowing more about your company there. While we're waiting for the share screen, maybe I would like to say several things about APSI. APSI is an Indonesian Waste Entrepreneur Association. So we are engaging, most of the members engage in recycling waste, organic and non-organic. The member treats all type of waste. The recycled material, organic residual, even hazardous waste through a green technology that fits local solutions. Ini ributnya gimana ya? APSI currently have almost 108 members. Wait.
I muted him.
Who's muting?
No, I did Ikra Putra muting. I think I got the rights now. That means.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Can I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we currently have 268 members throughout various cities, regencies, and provinces in Indonesia. And we mostly consist of medium companies and few of the large ones. So the objective is to create a competent and professional human resources in the field of waste management and building a multi-stakeholder collaboration in national waste management and maybe in the future international waste management, since we know you. So that's mostly about APSI, and maybe Pak Saud want to say something, 1 or 2 words?
Okay, Mr. Sandeep Patel, thank you for your time. I'm really appreciate that you would share with us today, and I hope probably in February next year, 2022, me and several others will visit you to India, probably visiting Pune, Indore, and also Ahmedabad. Yeah, we will probably we would like to cooperate with you, because I know you have already achieved many successful things there. So we hope it will be transferred to us, and probably we could share a few, and then I will ask you to come to Indonesia to visit my country, and we could probably collaborate together investment, because you know the funding of the waste management will be much will more spend a lot of money, yeah, in Indonesia for waste management. We should catch this for opportunity for between the two of us in India and Indonesia. That's from me. Thank you.
Pak Saud means that the fund that Indonesia will get for the waste management will be quite massive, and then by then we need to learn more from the best, so we can actually we make the best of the fund that we got to waste management system.
I'm happy to be here, and as an entrepreneur to entrepreneurs in Indonesia, wherever we can work with you guys, our platform, software, everything can be made available for free of cost. You can use it, grow. Technology also will ensure that we can help each other grow, and that's what we work for. I'll share what we have built today, and whatever questions or challenges we have, we can discuss on the challenges and how I solved my challenges during the journey. And maybe I can also say I have the same challenge even today. So we don't know how many challenges yet to be solved, but at least we can discuss and share our experiences.
Okay, sure. Our pleasure. You can start.
So should I share my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you for the introduction, ma'am. Okay, you may go on, sir.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing a very early video which we had made for Indore. So let's start with that. I'll do a parallel explanation. So this is a 4.5 acre facility in Indore, which essentially spread. So we have also expanded even in this part with an RDF processing facility. This is where the MRF is built in 1 acre land, and this is the tipping area. So we almost have 300 metric ton per day of waste coming in from transfer stations. They have about 10 to 15, 20% contamination still. So human behavior is always a challenge. You would get some contamination. From a manual feeding, we have shifted to 300 tons. We have shifted to a lot of automation on the material handling equipments as well. So the chain conveyor, we have started building chain conveyors ourselves as well. So technology-wise, we are into manufacturing and everything now in India as well. Because I bought with this machine some of them from Europe and US, and it's been very costly to really make it viable for our kind of markets on an ongoing basis. So we can keep doing it. The ballistic separator, where we do separation of 2D and 3D. Post that, it goes into optical sorting machines. We used to buy Tombra while this project was coming up. Now we have developed our own sorting technology. I have with me Sandeep Singh also. So we will be able to answer multiple questions on that as well. So we choose the programs and the kind of composition which we have. On basis of that, the material gets segregated, and we have people which do further segregation. So we sort with almost 24 different categories the recycler would want for different kinds of paper, different kinds of plastics, packaging material. So a lot of things have changed since this video was made almost a year back. But this showcases how it's an inclusive model at scale as well to have people. But we are also now looking at replacing some roles with robots, because with COVID we also realized that it's not possible to run the plants in a consistent way, and when you want to do management at scale. So it's a mix of both. We use magnet and eddy current both for recovery of metal. So with this kind of magnets, we are even able to recover nails, small pins, which forms out of the total metal. This is aluminum foil and all, which gets removed. So this kind of machines do pay back within 12 months on the road. Sometimes we don't realize that it would be a substantial quantity, but it's worth having, even though it might be a small fraction for eddy current as well as magnet. But we should have it because it will have two impacts. One is it will have less damage on the belts, and because of metal in the initial phase. And second is recovery of aluminum will have a better recovery. We have continuous balers. We will be replacing one of the balers with a shredding flow. Isan is one of a Turkish company which makes balers, hydraulics and all, and we work with them in Indore plant to have better understanding about how to design MUFs and operate them in a very automated way while we are building our own automation solution. It is a complete SCADA-driven plant, and it allows us to monitor in real time. And now we are also adding. So you see that from the tipping area, the material comes into the trommel. The trommel would screen below 50 mm, 50 to 300, and above 300. So the above 300 will come in this particular belt on the far end. And all the other material goes into optical sorting, and below 50 mm will go into the tipping area as a material after being screened by eddy current and magnet. So we recover maximum ferrous and non-ferrous both. We are a zero waste to landfill company because we have a lot of cement plants in the country. So we are able to send material to cement plants which is not recoverable because of economic reasons. So this is how we are doing 300 tons per day, but our journey has been from 500 kgs to 300 tons. So we know exactly the problem we have at 2 tons, 5 tons, 20 tons. And I think I'll be able to add value because most of the startups or the entrepreneurs in towns which are in India also are on an average about 15-20 tons per day of material maximum. So we are the only company which has scaled up using technology, and we have developed technology which also allows automation for 5 ton, 10 ton, and 20 ton. So that's the interesting part, because we understand the larger problem of the emerging market is going to be this. Yes, Nadia.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Sandeep Nepra, for the video. It really shows us about what are you doing with your team. And now, without further ado, let's hear from Bapak Saud Marpaung to share and also explain in the first session about Indonesia waste problem. For Pak Saud Marpaung, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Indonesia also has a big problem with waste. Yeah, the collection rate. Yeah, the collection rate only 39%. So there are 61% remaining not collected, whether it's burned or goes to the sea. Yeah, at the end. At the 39% of the waste that collected, 90% is dumping at the landfill, not processed, not processed. Yeah. Only 10% recycled. Our rate of recycling is only 10%. And we also in most part of the cities and regencies, no mandatory of segregation from the source, from home. Yeah, it means the waste is mixed between the organics, the inorganics, and also probably some of them are the hazardous waste. Yeah. So this is very complex problem. But good news, we have a project in Bali, in Kabupaten Kelungkung, or we say Kelungkung Regency. We already signed with the municipality of Kelungkung, yeah, the mayor of Kelungkung. We make the collection and the segregation from waste is a mandatory. So we already 100% collection. Also 82% segregate from home. Yeah, only 3 being separated: organics, unorganics, and the hazardous waste. Only 3. But it's only a small city. So it's our piloting project and quite successful. And we would hope that this will be benchmarking for other cities next. Yeah. So we hope next year we will cooperate with the other municipalities in Indonesia to do the same thing with the Kelungkung Regency. I think that's a little bit from me because I think we already know what happened and the situation. I think we could search from Googling, yeah. But I'm sure we together would to solve this problem, yeah, together. And me myself, I will visit you to India, yeah. I will visit the indoor municipalities, how they can segregate 100% from home. How can they do no waste to landfill, yeah, zero waste to landfill. This is very, very awesome because in my comparison, Indonesia is higher of income per capita than India. Indonesia is $3,800 US per year, and India only almost 2,000. So Indonesia is doubling from the income per capita. It means more rich, yeah, wealthier from India. But no, even one city in Indonesia is successful in managing their waste. This is a very, very big problem. Yeah, most of the cities, they collected waste and only dump in the landfill and only 50 meters, yeah, high. This is very, very dangerous for our environment and also for the collectors in doing the recyclable. Thank you, Sandeep Patel. We will communicate regularly. Yeah, don't hesitate to respond to my WA, to my WhatsApp.
I do respond, and I think I crack jokes also.
Sorry for my English is so broken. We are Indonesian, not speaking English actually.
No worries.
Okay, thank you, Bapak Saud Marpaung, for sharing us about Indonesia waste problem, which is very, very complex, as what you have already discussed. So, to overcome and to continue the discussion, let's hear from from Sir Sandeep Patel, the session 2 about key success of Nepra, India Waste Management Startup, and the floor is yours, sir. You're still mute, sir.
Can you put me as host so I can share the screen? I think somebody removed me again.
Okay, it's already open for sharing. Can you share it? Okay, go on, sir.
So I know I'll be talking about our journey a bit and what kind of solutions we have developed. And wherever you have questions, you can put it, or you can stop me by raising hand, and I will answer them while we do that. So I started with about 100 kg per day of waste collection, and was struggling to increase the volume. And it's a challenge which every waste company would face. So it's not that only Nepra would face, but every other entrepreneur, I understand, would go through the same challenge. And that's why as an entrepreneur and Nepra, we are on a approach where we will help create ecosystem, provide our technological interventions to create a strong waste value chain, which will enable more handling of waste. And it's not about the country or people, it is more about rich people. That's where the problem starts, and they don't feel responsible towards waste. So in India also we have the same challenge, and we need to have both carrot and the stick approach, which allow us to handle that situation better. But going forward, every single entrepreneur, either small or large companies, would have to understand that circular economy, if it has to be achieved, then the waste has to be converted back into the original form. That means the level of segregation would have to increase substantially. We'll have to focus on quality and integrity of the process and ensure that we are able to achieve the segregation to a level where we can replace the virgin raw material. And that's only when the circularity happens. And it cannot happen without automation is what I had concluded. So we have a similar, I think we will also have a similar kind of thing, waste value chain, where you will have dustbins, waste pickers, scrap dealers, and organize larger scrap guys who would collect or sort basic stuff, and then the rest would go to the landfill if not collected. We focus on creating efficiencies for multiple stakeholders by using technology, both in collection and segregation, and we handle all kinds of waste. Today, Nepra has almost 4 or 5 divisions which are completely operational. So, Indore and Mumbai and all those. Yeah. So, in Indore, Mumbai, and all those cities, Pune and all are coming under Nepra resource management, where we do collection at city level, sorting and recycling operations. We have an advisory and compliance division which helps all our partners and waste generators and compliance guys to help us under EPR. So we work with a lot of clients under EPR. I invested in a company called Robotics and incubated it. It's into sorting solutions. So we cannot continue to afford European solutions because our geography and our challenges are quite different. So I don't believe they would be able to solve the problems for Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. So we can continue to develop this technology of Ishitwa. And I think it's in a phase where the implementation of their machines and projects are in place, where we'll be able to do 5 tons, 10 tons, and 20 tons of projects for automated sorting solutions. Now, we have problem of people not sorting waste, but people always love rewards. So we build a system called Recycle Rewards. So it's an on-demand pickup like, Didi and Uber and all those things, where you book an appointment and somebody will come and give you reward points, which can be, monetized against items. We work on circular economy. We have a foundation where we support waste pickers at the bottom of the economic pyramid, and also train and educate their children, etc. So what does Nepra do? This is something which is quite important. Everybody needs to understand. This is how our business models will work as you grow. Collection, yes, that's where the challenge is. Material recovery facility, depending upon your value chain, you will make money over here. But if this is not there, then you will always continue to face that challenge of zero waste to landfill. So as Nepra, we are also investing in value-added facilities for plastic circularity and make good quality granules. In Indonesia, you have one company which is already doing plastic processing and all, and there are other companies which I'm aware of. They are doing substantial level of plastic processing. So even if you segregate the plastic, you might be able to get good value out of it. I think EPR work is also developing in Indonesia substantially from what I understand from here. And you need to find out boilers or industries which have temperature above 900 degrees. They would be able to use alternative fuels instead of coal as a raw material. And definitely, Vera credits and carbon credits are going to be future. So you should explore opportunities of registering your projects under Vera and carbon credits. What we have built a complete end-to-end software platform which registers waste generator to the point of sales. So we have complete ERP solution. Yeah. So
sorry, you may continue.
No problem. With a short commercial break, we are back.
Okay.
So collection software and all, we have made a very detailed software which allows us to monitor and bring consistency in the service, managing the address, multiple pickups, checking transaction history. Our collection is on the basis of AI and facial recognition. So we continuously have the similar record for waste pickers. Our workforce is very decentralized, so we also use facial recognition for attendance management, reporting, etc. So it makes completely automated process for even managing the whole company as a company. So we have Nepra corporate app, which consists of everything. And As an MRF also, we require a lot of information to take best decision, do transporter management, sales, etc. So you think of any part of your business which needs automation in software, we already have. And that's what makes, and most important part, we have made it multilingual. So if you implement this and you want to choose a base language for yourself, you would have the regional language available to you. So that's the technology part of the business, which allows us to have consistency and scale into operations and easy to expand. And that's what allows us to expand across the country and move very fast. What we do with waste, segregation of waste is a very complex subject. In a brief way here, all the plastic rigids, PET bottles, everything gets converted into fiber, or bottle to bottle grade is something which is becoming very important nowadays. Plastic films, we are also now working with companies like PepsiCo and other players to use the material for the shrink film packaging. And paper goes to paper mills, metals to metal recyclers. We are fortunate to have a lot of cement plants in the country which are focusing on using RDF as a fuel, or waste to energy plants, and even boilers which would consume shredded RDF of 20 mm and 30 mm in size to be replaced coal as a fuel. So when I started in 2013, so this is just a brief about my journey. So I have been, having small one belt, a small trommel which we worked with. We used to monitor what used to come out, small plastic lumping machine and a baler. This is where my journey started in 2013 to start scaling up. Within 4 months, I had a fire, and I realized one thing. Within 4 months, I lost almost everything. The same baler is here, the same belt is here, the same screening system. And it was because I did not have a very strong value chain. So, I was trying to bargain on the rate, improve on the rates, and hence had a lot of stock in the plant. And the fire caught and it spread across the plant and I lost everything. So value chain is also an equal part of the business, where my RDF business became priority just because I did not want to have a stock in the plant. So if material is recyclable, I recycle and send it to somebody else. And if it is not recyclable, it goes to a cement plant immediately, but we don't stock. This is the learning from a very big setback we had in 2013. The women workers in this photo, they are the reason that we really built it back. They gave us the confidence of saying, let's build it back. We will work without salary and all that. But we ensured that we get paid. But the motivation which was given by the team really brought us back on our foot. So what we did, we again started doing sorting on the ground. We raised some money and we built a semi-MRF where, about 35 people were standing on the belt and the storage was under them. And we had 2 balers which would be used for baling the material. So from that experience of feeding, screening.
Ada di sini, lagi dijemput.
Okay.
Again, sorry, sir. You may continue.
It's okay. It's okay. So essentially, we learned what to sort in what sequence to bring the best efficiency on this belt. And from that, we built in 2016 the Ahmedabad MRF, which is multi-story. Indore MRF, which is much more efficient compared to Ahmedabad, because this is what we build on our own from our initial experience. From the mistakes we made in that, we built Indore. And I think the newer MRFs are better efficient than the ones we built earlier. So all the learnings have gone into building. So we also develop our own material recovery facilities, design them and fabricate them here, which allows it to be economically viable. Because sourcing from Europe does not make viability. So we have built a division which just purely focuses on designing and developing material recovery facilities. We have improved a lot of standards on safety and operations as well. So while we grow, we also understand that we need to also create training module and importance of fire safety and human safety as well. And we carry out the trainings. A lot of guidance to people on regular basis, and these are something which we are creating under ESG also, calendars for people for training, which we can help a lot of people. So every facility there are ongoing trainings which the specific departments would have. Now I would come to Ishitwa Robotics, which is something which we have built for sorting waste. which is suitable for the emerging markets, because most of the automation and everything has always been focused on European and US markets, and the cost is so high that we cannot even think about adopting them in our countries. So we have developed this where we will be able to sort micro MSW operations, the smaller sizes, flexibles and multi-layer packaging, glass, biomedical waste, PET segregation as well, mixed paper, even legacy waste and plastics and shoes. So we are able to do this using our AI powered tool for recognition, monitoring, auditing, as well as sorting operations. So the vision and the brain allows us to identify and create data pool, which we use for sorting the material and bring real-time analytics and actionable. So historically, it was never possible. We are implementing the same solutions in our plants, and it can also be fit into retrofit into existing MUFs if there are any. So if there are conveyor belts and material movement happening, we could explore and do that stuff. So when we see the waste on a conveyor, we see it like this. But when the Nepra neural network see it, it will identify what the material is. And interesting part is you would be able to even solve it, sort it by brand wise. So the true circularity will come when you are able to sort the plastics of this particular red grade of the same material separately from this or comfort and everything, even though it might be HDP, but there is no point of mixing two different material packing also. So a comfort within the bottle will also have smell or grade of that material, which will create, the granule to have some smell in it. So this would be solved using artificial intelligence, and we are able to identify and rate the brands as well. So under EPR, if you have to report to companies that, okay, this much material has come into my facility from yours, you can have a dashboard available to them as well. Small video, which will allow you to see how the machine works. Most of the automation solutions have been robotic, but this is also an air sorter similar to what Tomra does. So it makes much more viability for markets like ours. So if you have pure plastics or any kind of material, this machine can actually do it at a high speed. Even in MSW and all that, it can be done. This plant, they only have 3D material, which is sorted by polymer-wise and brand-wise. It can also sort black plastic. So different classifiers are put into the system, SD, PET and all, and different levels of self-sorting. So you can choose you only want blue color, and you will only have eject blue color. So this is much better compared to robotic solution, because robots will only do 180 picks per minute, and this can do these fast sorting, and we can have a loop kind of mechanism as well to allow better sorting. So we only eject blue plastic and it will be sorted. It happens at a very fast speed, so allows faster sorting, and it is cheaper by almost 40% to 45% compared to the European solutions, making it much more interesting for us. So we are able to gather the brand name, category type. So some of the PET bottle guys don't want an oily bottle along with water bottle. So we are able to separate that out. PP black color material can also be sorted using this technology. So that makes it much more comfortable to be used. Real-time reporting and monitoring. So it can be, essentially the new version which is coming in is fully automated plant as well. Air pressures maintenance goes down in this particular equipment, because it is constantly assessing the composition and the health of the machine. So with the latest technologies, we are able to look at sorting the material in PP in white, SDP, color sorting, PET. So this is an interesting part to consider. So when we are going to be looking at more circularity in every geography, every company is now going to ask you for a material to replace their virgin material. And I think that has already started in India. And from what I had a talk with Pepsi and other companies here, they are also seeing a lot of pressure in those markets where you are based. So what will happen is companies will ask for saying, I want to replace in this particular bottle HDP green. So if you are able to recover this green material, it's very easy to make a granule for it. And hence the circularity will be easily achieved and less complications in processing the waste. So going forward, we will see aggregation on the basis of this particular approach, which will happen, and the circularity, true circularity, will start happening on that basis. So we call it the nth level segregations. Nth is the last mile connectivity which you also need to have. Yes, so when you train this particular thing, normal technology would say this is blue color HDP, but this is the cover which normally comes on top of it, and inside it is milky or white color. Hence, AI can train this to be HDP milky and then remove the cover afterwards in the additional process, which makes it much more easy to sort HDP milky as well. So this is an air sorter of based Nepra vision, which can be having very fast sorting capacity. And we can also have robotic solutions for smaller capacity and detailed sorting for PETA or any other application which might make sense. Screening system. So we have developed a splitter which essentially allows you to screen below 50 and above 50 in a very fast manner. I have another operational video. I don't think I will send this slide, but I can share it to Suat on WhatsApp. You can use it to share with others. So it allows to sort the material and screen on the basis of 3D and long items. At the same time, below 50 or 40 or 30 can be screened out faster. Again, the cost is an implication. We have tried to focus on to bring the cost down compared to what you would find in Europe and US. Small MRF, material recovery facilities, multi-story, multi-approach. So we design our own MRFs and fabricate them, and we also are looking to partner with organizations to implement them in their geography. Large MRF, legacy waste. So we also have old dump sites. If you have to clean up and send it to cement plants or waste to energy, then setup for that recovery is also doable. We are developing a solution called Sanjeevni. So that solution would have multiple optical sorting machines, and the software would decide what to sort depending upon the details you feed in, because the composition in waste constantly changes. So the software will act a little bit smarter using AI and have the data pool. And on basis of that, you keep on sorting so that you have the maximum efficiency of your MRF. So this is what we do at sorting level, but we also have to engage with waste pickers, societies, people. Awareness, there is no other option. We have to do, and we have these two games on Google Play Store. Clean India, Recycle Waste, where dry and wet waste learning can be done by people. We have not promoted it much, hence not made downloads, but we initially thought people would use this. But in our geography, what mattered was money, so we had the Recycle Reward platform which we brought in. Schools, children are future, so we work with a lot of NGOs and organizations across the country to collect multi-layer packaging and bring awareness to schools across the country. So we operate with more than 120 plus schools now. Work with a lot of brand partners across the country. So inherently, the whole ecosystem allows us to have an efficient operations today at scale. The challenges we have learned from today, our aspiration and the vision is to be the leading waste management company in the emerging markets while impacting people and planet positively. And we continuously innovate and make the process efficient. And we are now actually allowing people to use our platforms to have more efficient operations and grow faster, because the problem of waste is much bigger. And I think together only it can be solved. One particular company, even though we would have aimed to lead or do, but would not be able to have the true impact. So in India alone, we are targeting more than 30 facilities for MRF, plastic processing and RDF by 2025 and handle 2 million metric tons of waste. We try to create state-of-the-art infrastructure for circular economy, at the same time achieve zero waste to landfill in all our operations. So that's about Nepra.
Okay, very nice information, sir. So now it's question and answer session. I open the session for everyone here, all of the participants. For everyone who want to ask a question, you may raise hand and or chat it on the chat box. Well, I think that everyone has already understood well about what you already shared to us, sir. Is there anyone to ask?
Okay, I would like to ask some question.
Okay, sir.
Probably in Indonesian, and Mrs. Olive will translate to English ya. Ya Ibu Olive, jadi saya mencoba bagaimana ini apa yang sudah dilakukan Nepra di India itu bisa kita bawa sistemnya ke Indonesia gitu ya. Nah, ini apakah harus kerjasamanya nanti dalam bentuk joint venture, ya artinya antara Nepra dengan perusahaan kita di Indonesia, atau mungkin ini sifatnya pembelian gitu ya, jadi pengadaan, artinya kita beli lalu didampingin dalam proses perjalanan pengolahannya gitu. Nah ini mungkin bisa disampaikan secara English apa yang saya maksudkan. Terima kasih boleh.
So looking of what Nepra has done in India, Pak Saud was thinking if it can be brought to Indonesia, the technology and the system, what is the form of cooperation, whether it will be joint venture or just procurement and education?
So I think most important is to understand exactly what is the outcome we want. So, as an entrepreneur, we always want to drive the business ourselves. And as a joint venture, it's always about the amount of investment or risk which we want to take. What I normally advise in any new geography is you can start using our software or technology which we already have, which doesn't have much cost to me or to you. But you can start improvising on your processes and start scaling it up. Or if you already have scale, then we can explore how using the material recovery facility, MRF, and how we can finance it or we need to invest into it. So those opportunities have to be explored case to case basis because every geography has its own different challenges and we need to assess that, and on the basis of that we can take a decision. But as an entrepreneur, I can say whatever I can do without any expectation, free of cost, I will share whatever we have. So that's my promise to all the entrepreneurs.
Okay, thank you for the answer, sir. Untuk Bapak Ibu yang lain yang ingin bertanya, boleh silakan juga menggunakan bahasa Indonesia, supaya nanti bisa saya bantu menggunakan bahasa Inggris kalau memang dibutuhkan. Thank you for the answer, sir. For all of the participants here who want to ask another thing about this kinds of cooperation or about what Sir Sandeep already discussed, you are open to ask the question.
Okay, I will continue my question ya. In few months, I will build one MRF in one of the landfill in East Java ya, in Pasuruan Regency. I'm very interested with your small scale MRF. Could you please explain more about the small one MRF? Uh, how much waste per day that can be processed?
Right. So I think the MRFs are always designed or on the basis of the kind of composition the waste has. So if you have the composition, that would be great, because the technology and the segregation and the screening of material is designed on what is the output you would want from the waste. So on basis of that, the capacity is defined. So let's say, for example, you have a mixed waste of 10 tons, of which you would have about 66 tons is organic waste, and 4 ton is dry waste. Within 4 tons, you would have only 400, 500 kgs of PET bottle, other plastics, and this thing. So typically, we would have to have more proper screening of the material and opening of the bags if the waste is in the bags. So that kind of MRF would be different in screening and capacity compared to one where you would only want to sort plastics, because and if you only have PET bottles which you want to improve in quality grade to remove PVC or medicine bottles or green bottles, then the infrastructure is very nominal. So, but the range can anywhere be between $100,000 to almost a few $1 million, depending upon the size and the scale. But the lowest setup would be about $250,000, which can be about 10 tons, with 3 optical sorting machines in that. That is excellent. So yeah, exactly. So if you are mentioning landfill legacy waste, then the machines are different. For a dry waste or a mixed waste which comes on a daily basis, it's different.
Okay. So for the dry waste, the investment will be start from about 50,000. Depend on
250,000 for a 10 tons pure dry waste facility, because you would be able to recover a lot of recyclables from it.
So it's a different case if, for example, we already have an MRF and we want to upscale it in terms of PET, for example. So the investment will be cheaper then.
Yeah. So it would be very different for existing MRF to have. So if you have a composition and you can share it with me, and what you want to improve in recovery in that. So what is going and what you are not able to do, even in replacing people. Because I'll tell you, in my indoor MRF, a lot of MLP is going into RDF, multi-layer packaging. And there is a company which wants all the MLP to make particle boards for benches and all. So I have asked that company to sign an MOU and do a joint investment with us in our plant, where we can have a commitment from their side to lift the material. When they do investment, then only we will have. And what we are expecting is we'll be able to recover all the MLP using optical sorting machine. So there is only one small modification which will cost us about $70,000. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And also your machineries only applied for dry waste only, yeah? It cannot be mixed with the organics. What do you think?
No, it can be mixed. Only thing is the design of the plant changes a bit, because the initial, you will have to screen and open up the bags or closed items. You have to open those bags and get the organic screened out. So
is there any one of your workshop that applied this mixed waste?
So in Pune, where we have this plant, we are working on improving it, because what material we are getting, there is a lot of bags which have organic in them. So we are working on this particular solution in that particular existing plant. But from our learning because in Pune, we have started modifying all our future plans.
Okay, your future plan. Because if we educate the the society, the people, before we apply this technology, I think it is hard for us to achieve this goal in a short-term period.
No, you should see, infrastructure cannot be planned on the basis of people behavior. You need to plan for bad quality up to certain extent. So all the machineries, even if you want a 10-ton output, depending upon the composition, you might have a spinning system which might be for 20 tons. Then rest of the equipments might be of 15 tons, and your final output might be 10 tons. So the percentage composition which you share about the behavior of people, the expected organic and all in the input material versus what you would want as an output from that material. If those two things versus also what is the money you would get for those recyclables, because sometimes is it worth putting the technology of an X type or Y type can be decided on the basis of what money you can get for what quality of material.
Okay, got it. By the way, is there any chance for us to build these machineries in Indonesia by your license? I mean, Indonesian government have a strong ambitions to produce locally. So recycle content, local content. What do you think about that? So we build here, but you the designer. We that invest.
No, so I think that is the only way we would suggest, because it's illogical to bring the sheet metal and all the fabricated items from India to there. So
Yes.
when we plan to do this, we would work with a local partner to do the fabrication over there. Only key components and automation comes from here.
Okay.
Rest, whatever can be done, because otherwise, as I said, emerging markets are very tricky markets.
Yes.
We should not increase the cost in any way. We need to optimize the cost, and it's best to do it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe first couple of projects can be done in a different way, and then we can localize everything.
Yes. So the high tech from India and the medium tech from built in Indonesia. I think that's a compromise, good win-win solution.
So what we have done in last couple of months, we have got people who are working in Stadler. You have heard about Stadler, which is a European German company which makes plants. So they are also advising on our board for our plant designs to be more efficient and better with automation. So we have got a couple of European designers and plant guys to work with our team to develop even more compact and efficient designs.
Okay. Thank you, moderator.
Okay, thank you, Pak Saul, for the question. Thank you also for the answer, Sir Sandeep. And it's open for another participant here who want to ask more about the program or the system about waste management. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any question? Bapak Ibu yang bergabung di dalam ruangan ini, kalau ingin bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia, silakan secara langsung atau melalui kolom chat, nanti akan saya bantu tanyakan dengan bahasa Inggris. Silakan.
So there is a question.
Yeah, there is a question in chat box. I'll read it for you, sir. I want to ask, could you tell us more detail how Nepra can increase people awareness about waste? Like, we know to ask people care with environment is really hard. So it's basically the situation of society in Indonesia. So how do you increase people awareness?
So, the job of a waste entrepreneur is not to always do awareness. So it's a statement which has two impact, where you need to motivate people, those who are good at generating awareness, either it's the children, businesses, or the local bodies, or there are a lot of NGOs and people who want to just ensure that people start doing something, we have a lot of tie-ups with those guys. And our job is to create that value chain, because once awareness happens, people always ask, where will the waste go? And that is where, everybody says the same answer, it will go to Nepra. And I think being that company where people can talk about you in that geography, to say, okay, once I segregate the waste, this is where it will go. That will solve the problem to a great extent. And you should work with people who are doing more awareness or would want to do more awareness.
Okay.
Mungkin saya mau nambahin sedikit kalau bicara awareness ya. Awareness is not only our responsibility ya as a recycler or a waste private company, but it's a collaborative action between the stakeholders. Yang paling depan itu adalah pemerintah. The municipalities is in the front line, and we, the societies, and then the producers, and also the LSM sebagai swadaya masyarakat, non-government organization, yeah. We work together to raise awareness. So it's not only our responsibility, yeah, as a recycler. Yeah,
it's a collective responsibility, yes.
Yeah.
And the time you start taking as your responsibility, your business changes.
Yes.
Okay.
Our main business is to collect,
recycle,
and then recycle.
Process. Yeah.
Awareness is only yes, for additional.
Catalyst. It's a catalyst where you should use other people to do it for you, and initially you will have to do. You might not walk away from it, but once you have people doing it, you should take a back seat and allow other people to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So another thing is exploring black soldier fly in India. So I'll tell you, this is something which I wanted to do since 7-8 years. I've been reading about black soldier fly. There is, because I realized dry waste was something which was a bigger challenge, so I have been focusing on dry waste. There is a company called Loopworm, which has been started in the country, where they are looking at using black soldier fly as an opportunity for converting wet waste into protein solution. So I'm talking with them. I might support them to grow their business along with ours. So I'm looking at a lot of investments in regional companies here in startups to support them and give them, the opportunity of what Nepra ecosystem can help them.
Okay, is that enough to answer your question, sir? Okay. There is another question from the chat box from Bapak Bijaksana.
So there is one question which has come to me directly.
Okay.
Ria province, especially Pekanbaru city, produces 760 tons of waste every day. This is just thrown away. This needs to be managed properly as a source of income. What do you think about this potential? I think waste has huge potential. So we need entrepreneurs to really take the lead and start looking at creating value chain and create ecosystem there.
Boleh, kita sini boleh apa deh?
Bu Hani, do you want to say something?
No,
Bu Hani?
yeah,
Do you want to say something and ask the question?
no.
Oh, okay. So thank you for the answer, sir. Here is another question from the chat box from Mr. Bijaksana. Are you exploring black soldier fly in India?
Yes, I already answered that question some time back.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is still the question and answer session.
I think the time is already already up. Probably moderator could finish the meeting today, the discussion for today, and I hope Mr. Sandeep Patel, we could do another meeting that will be more technically. This is the first discussion, first meeting for introducing ourselves to you to us. And next, we will discuss more technique about, probably
More details.
the details.
No.
We will prepare for the next meeting probably in 2 weeks, from now. I will announce you, and I hope you could spare time because we are serious in solving these waste problem issues in Indonesia. I hope you will be one of our partner, the strategical partner to solve these issues. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep. Hope to see you soon in India. Yeah.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Take picture.
Can we take a picture before we leave the?
Okay.
Sure.
Can all the participants to turn on the light, the camera?
Okay, I'll help to take the screenshot. Please, all the participants, if it's possible for you, please open the camera. We will take a picture together in this session. Okay, I will count. 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Okay, another picture. 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Hope to see you soon in the next discussion. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Baik, Sarnya sudah tidak di sini. Thank you very much for having me today also. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu sudah mengikuti kegiatan ini. Sekian.
Nanti kita akan bertemu lagi di mungkin 2 mingguan lagi. Nanti kamu juga jadi moderatornya.
Baik Bapak. Baik.
Lain-lain nanti lewat siapa? Firza ya. Terima kasih banyak. Ya.
Ya baik Pak. Baik Bapak Ibu, terima kasih sudah mengikuti diskusi hari ini. Sekian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Videonya dong ya. Rekam aja Pak. Nanti yang rekam tadi siapa nih yang rekam? Cindy ya? Mbak Nadia.
Oh saya yang rekam ya? Oh karena hostnya udah di saya, baik-baik.
Tolong nanti diatur sama Firza untuk hasilnya bisa kita jadikan dokumen APSI ya. Nanti diatur bagaimana ya. Nanti biar ditangani sama Alam nih dan kawan-kawan.